Hello everyone. What if I told you that a simple copper-colored coin that most people would overlook in their pocket change, a coin you might have even dropped on the ground and left behind without a second thought, could actually hold a hidden fortune so massive that its face value has been rumored to reach an astonishing $82 million? And that coin is none other than the 1997 D1 USA coin. A small and seemingly ordinary penny that carries within it one of the most fascinating stories of rarity, errors, mistakes, and numismatic intrigue that has ever captivated collectors and historians alike. And today we dive into this incredible journey where a coin minted in Denver back in 1997 has transformed from being a piece of everyday currency into a legendary artifact of immense historical and financial value. Because when you peel back the layers of what makes a coin like this worth more than just a cent, you uncover a world of possibilities tied to minting errors, double dies off center strikes, planchet mistakes, misaligned dies, clipped planchets, transitional metal compositions, and even the strange quirks of human error during the production process that create anomalies so rare they elevate a simple coin into the stratosphere of desirability and price. And the 1997 D penny sits right in the middle of this fascinating universe. Because while millions upon millions of pennies were struck at the Denver Mint in that year, only a handful exhibit the kinds of flaws and oddities that can turn a cent into a treasure. And when stories began circulating among collectors about a small group of these 1997 D pennies being connected to errors so unusual that they crossed into uncharted territory of value, the coin collecting community was electrified, sparking auctions, debates, and countless discussions about how something so small could hold such incredible weight in both history and money. And part of what makes the 1997 D1 coin so fascinating is the duality of its nature. On one hand, it is the humble penny with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, a continuation of the design that had been in place since 1909, with the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse that had been minted since 1959, making it one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. And on the other hand, it is a coin whose anomalies make it almost mythical, especially when we talk about double dies where the design elements such as Lincoln's profile, the words "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date itself show signs of being struck twice by the die, leading to doubled letters, distorted images, or ghost-like outlines that make the coin not only visually striking but also incredibly rare. And then there are off-center strikes where the coin fails to be properly aligned under the die and ends up showing only part of the design with a blank crescent of metal on one side. Errors that can make collectors pay thousands. And let's not forget planchet errors, where the blank metal disc that was supposed to become a coin is flawed, cracked, clipped, or even struck on a foreign or wrong metal composition, anomalies that instantly make such a coin stand out. And when a 1997 D penny carries any of these characteristics, its value skyrockets beyond imagination, because collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, rarity, and the allure of owning something so few will ever possess. And that is why the rumor of a face value of $82 million attached to this coin makes sense in the world of high-stakes coin collecting, because while no one is literally spending that amount on every 1997 D penny, the possibility that one with the right error, the right condition, and the right rarity could fetch prices in the millions makes this story believable and endlessly captivating. And part of the charm of coins like these is the unpredictability of discovery, because any one of us could have a 1997 D penny in an old jar, tucked away in a drawer, or resting unnoticed in a family coin collection, not realizing that hidden within is a fortune. And stories of lucky finds where ordinary people stumble upon coins worth thousands or millions continue to fuel the excitement around rare pennies like this, making the dream of turning a cent into $1 million treasure more than just fantasy. And when you combine this with the fact that coin errors are often one of a kind or limited to just a handful of known examples, the stakes rise even higher, because the moment a new discovery is verified, its uniqueness adds layers of value. And with the 1997 D penny, the fascination has grown stronger over time, as collectors chase down every possible variation, scrutinizing the smallest details under magnification, searching for die cracks, extra thickness and lettering, misalignments, or unusual wear patterns that could indicate an error. And when one of these is confirmed, the coin enters the world of numismatic legends, often achieving record-breaking prices at auctions and inspiring even more people to search for their own hidden treasures. And that's the magic of the 1997 1-cent coin, a coin that reminds us how even the smallest, most overlooked piece of money can carry the weight of history, fortune, and endless curiosity. And as we reflect on this story, it becomes clear that coins are not just currency. They are artifacts of human effort, craftsmanship, and occasional imperfection, and it is within those imperfections that greatness is born. So the next time you find a 1997 penny in your change, don't ignore it, study it, because you never know if you are holding a coin that could be part of the extraordinary lineage tied to that rumored $82 million face value, a coin that links the ordinary with the extraordinary, the everyday with the legendary, and the small with the unimaginable. And if you've enjoyed this incredible deep dive into the hidden world of the 1997 1-cent coin, its errors, mistakes, and the possibilities that make it so valuable, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more amazing journeys into the history and hidden fortunes of coins that might just be waiting in your pocket right now. Next, 2001 Lincoln Penny. Imagine holding in your hand a coin so small and ordinary that most people would never give it a second glance, yet hidden within its copper-plated zinc surface lies a story of rarity, mistakes, historical quirks, collector frenzy, and astronomical value that transforms a humble cent into a fortune worth millions. And today we dive into the fascinating history and mystery of the 2001 USA 1-cent coin, a piece of American currency that looks like just another penny yet carries a face value rumored to be worth a staggering $2.65 million, making it one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in numismatic history, a coin that bridges the world of everyday pocket change with the upper echelons of rare collectibles and auctions where millionaires battle over ownership of a relic that has defied time and probability. Because while billions of pennies were struck in 2001 at the Denver Mint, only a few with unusual minting characteristics, rare errors, and unique features have emerged as legends in the coin collecting community, sparking debates about how a simple cent can command a multi-million-dollar price tag. And to truly understand this, we must journey back to the year 2001, a pivotal time in American history when technology was exploding, the economy was shifting, and even the smallest artifacts of culture carried with them meaning beyond their material worth. And in the case of the 2001 penny, collectors began noticing anomalies that set some examples apart from the ordinary, from doubled die obverse varieties where Lincoln's profile appeared shadowed with doubled inscriptions to off-center strikes where the coin's image was misaligned creating dramatic misprints, to rare planchet errors where the coin was struck on the wrong type of blank, perhaps a transitional strike left over from another denomination. And these rare mistakes became the fuel that powered collector obsession, for in numismatics rarity equals value, and when rarity intersects with demand, the result is skyrocketing prices that defy imagination. So the 2001 cent, normally dismissed as common, suddenly entered the realm of legendary as whispers of million-dollar valuations spread through collectors' forums, auction houses, and coin shows. And soon the story of a $2.65 million penny captured headlines and stirred curiosity even among those who had never cared about coins before. Because the idea that a piece of pocket change could transform someone's financial destiny was simply too compelling to ignore, and this allure of hidden treasure in ordinary places is what makes the coin world so thrilling, because who hasn't dreamt of finding unimaginable wealth tucked away in something small and overlooked? And the 2001 penny exemplifies this dream by existing as both an everyday coin and an extraordinary artifact. A reminder that history often hides its greatest treasures in plain sight. And as we peel back the layers of this coin's story, we uncover the immense craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, the errors that slip through unnoticed, and the sheer passion of collectors who have preserved and celebrated these pieces. For every scratch, die clash, and unusual feature tells a tale, and in the case of the 2001 cent, those tales have transformed it into a multi-million-dollar symbol of numismatic possibility. And while many will never own such a coin, the inspiration it provides fuels a global hunt where enthusiasts sift through rolls of pennies hoping to find their own fortune, Because what makes coins like this so valuable is not just the metal they are struck on, but the rarity, the story, and the demand, and over time, sales records, rumors, and authentic auction results have solidified the reputation of the 2001 penny as a true icon. With collectors willing to pay astronomical sums not just for ownership but for the bragging rights of holding history in their hands, so the next time you see a penny from 2001 bearing that small D mint mark beneath the date, remember that it could be more than just a cent. It could be the key to unlocking a treasure beyond imagination, a symbol of how even the smallest and most ordinary things can hold extraordinary secrets. And if you enjoyed diving into this incredible story of the 2001 USA 1-cent coin and its $2.65 million face value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more amazing journeys into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Next, 1995 1-cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating stories in coin collecting history, a story about rarity, error, and the staggering value of a seemingly ordinary coin, the 1995 1-cent, which has stunned collectors around the world by reaching an astonishing value of $26 million due to its unusual errors and mistakes. And before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible content on rare coins and historical treasures. Now imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, just a small, copper-colored cent minted in 1995, but upon closer inspection, it reveals a series of anomalies that have sent the numismatic community into a frenzy. The 1995 1-cent coin was part of the regular Lincoln Memorial series, which had been produced consistently for decades. But this particular coin, due to a combination of minting errors, die defects, and misstrikes, has become one of the most sought-after coins in history. The first major error that makes this coin so valuable is the famous double die obverse, or DDO, where the image of Lincoln and the inscriptions on the front appear doubled in certain areas, a phenomenon that occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during the engraving process. This doubling can be subtle or dramatic, and in the case of the 1995 1-cent, the doubling is pronounced enough that collectors immediately recognize its rarity and significance. Another key mistake is the off-center strike. A misalignment of the coin blank in the press causes the design to be partially missing or shifted, creating a striking visual irregularity that instantly catches the eye. These off-center strikes vary in severity, but for the 1995 1-cent, some examples were off-center by as much as 30% or more, a factor that greatly increases their desirability and value among collectors. Additionally, some coins from this year show evidence of die cracks and cuds, where small pieces of the die break off during the striking process and leave raised, irregular patterns on the coin. These imperfections are unique to each coin and cannot be replicated, making each piece one of a kind and further enhancing its rarity and appeal. The composition of the coin also plays a subtle role, as 1995 cents were primarily made of a copper-plated zinc composition, but a few rare examples were struck on older, higher purity copper blanks by mistake, giving them a slightly different hue and weight. Numismatists know that such composition errors are extremely rare, and coins with such anomalies can fetch exponentially higher prices at auctions. The 1995 1-cent also became famous for its mint mark variations, particularly coins where the D mint mark for Denver or the P mint mark for Philadelphia appeared doubled, repunched, or slightly misplaced, a phenomenon known as repunched mint mark (RPM). These minor variations, while seemingly insignificant, are incredibly important in the world of coin collecting because they provide a way to identify specific minting runs and determine the coin's uniqueness. Collectors often compete fiercely to acquire coins with clear and documented RPMs because the documentation increases provenance and ultimately value. What makes the 1995 1-cent even more remarkable is the convergence of multiple errors on the same coin. For example, some coins show both a double die obverse and off-center strikes simultaneously, creating a perfect storm of rarity that dramatically inflates the coin's market price. The possibilities that arise from these errors are nearly limitless, and every minor imperfection adds to the coin's story and desirability. The coin is not just valuable because of its errors, but also because of the historical context. 1995 was a year when the US Mint was producing billions of pennies for circulation, yet somehow, a handful of coins with these extraordinary errors slipped through quality control and survived in pristine condition for collectors to find. The contrast between the vast numbers of standard pennies and the rarity of these error coins is what drives their incredible market value. Experts in numismatics often spend years studying die varieties, minting anomalies, and production records to verify the authenticity of coins like the 1995 1 cent. And authenticated examples are highly coveted by collectors around the globe. Auction records show that these coins can sell for millions, and some have even reached the extraordinary figure of $26 million, a number that seems almost unbelievable for a 1 cent coin, yet it reflects the combination of rarity, condition, historical significance, and collector demand. The story of this coin also underscores the unpredictability of coin collecting as a hobby and investment. What begins as a mundane piece of currency can, due to rare errors and mistakes, become one of the most valuable coins in existence. This unpredictability fuels excitement and passion within the numismatic community, as collectors never know when a seemingly ordinary coin might turn out to be extraordinarily rare. The 1995 1 cent teaches an important lesson about careful observation, patience, and knowledge. Collectors must carefully examine coins under magnification, compare them with reference materials, and often consult experts to understand the significance of minor anomalies that could make the difference between an ordinary penny and a multi-million-dollar treasure. The coin's high value also speaks to the psychology of collecting, where rarity and uniqueness can generate immense perceived value beyond the intrinsic metal content. The 1995 1 cent exemplifies this, as its copper and zinc composition is nominally worth only a few cents, yet its historical quirks and minting errors catapult its market value into the millions. For coin enthusiasts, owning such a piece is not only an investment but also a badge of honor, a tangible link to the intricacies of U.S. Mint history and a story that can be passed down through generations. The market for rare coins like the 1995 1 cent has expanded internationally, with collectors from the United States, Europe, and Asia competing in online and live auctions, driving prices even higher. The excitement surrounding such coins is amplified by media coverage, numismatic conventions, and specialized publications that highlight rare finds. The 1995 1 cent has become a symbol of the thrill of discovering the unexpected in numismatics. It represents the possibility that even in mass production, human errors can create objects of extraordinary value, and for collectors, each coin is a piece of history frozen in time. Whether it is a subtle die crack, a bold off-center strike, or a doubled image, every imperfection adds character and tells a story about the process, the machinery, and the people behind the minting. The coin's provenance is equally important. Documentation of when and where it was found, how it was preserved, and its chain of ownership all contribute to its value. Reputable certification services such as PCGS and NGC play a critical role in verifying authenticity and grading condition, ensuring that buyers can trust what they are purchasing. Without such verification, even a genuine error coin might struggle to reach its full market potential. In addition to auction sales, private sales of 1995 1 cents have also commanded record-breaking prices, with collectors willing to pay millions for the opportunity to own a piece of numismatic history. This level of demand is fueled by the coin's scarcity, the allure of owning a one-of-a-kind object, and the recognition that the market for such errors is unlikely to be replicated in the future. The 1995 1 cent also inspires further investigation into minting processes, prompting collectors and historians to study how such errors occur, from die preparation and press operation to quality control. Failures. Each coin becomes a learning tool as well as an investment. Educational content about the coin has proliferated online, from YouTube videos to forums and blogs, allowing enthusiasts to share discoveries, compare notes, and develop a deeper understanding of why these coins are so valuable. For many, the 1995 1 cent represents the ultimate combination of art, history, and rarity, with each minting error transforming an everyday object into an extraordinary collectible. It is a tangible example of how imperfection can create value, challenging the notion that perfection is always desirable. This coin reminds us that mistakes, when rare and documented, can become treasures, and that meticulous attention to detail is rewarded in the world of numismatics. As collectors continue to search through circulation and private collections, new examples occasionally surface, though rarely. And each discovery is celebrated with excitement, and often dramatic increases in market price. The story of the 1995 1 cent has inspired collectors to examine their own collections more carefully, to learn about minting anomalies, and to appreciate the complex interplay of chance, production, and history that can elevate a common coin into a multi-million-dollar artifact. As we look at the broader impact, the 1995 1 cent exemplifies the enduring appeal of coins as both collectibles and investments, with a narrative that combines rarity, human error, and historical significance. Next, 1992 Lincoln Penny. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in U.S. numismatic history, the 1992 1 cent coin, which has gained incredible attention among collectors and investors due to its unique errors and rare production mistakes, making it potentially worth up to $14 million, an astounding figure for a coin that at first glance seems ordinary. The 1992 penny might appear like a standard Lincoln cent from the outside, but its hidden anomalies have catapulted it into the realm of the ultra-rare and highly sought-after coins. One of the primary reasons this coin is so valuable is the occurrence of striking errors during the minting process. These errors include misstrikes, double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet defects, all of which create variations that are exceptionally scarce and desirable for collectors. A double die occurs when the coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment between the strikes, leading to doubled letters or images, especially noticeable on the date and lettering, which in the 1992 penny can result in prominent doubling on the date 1992 and the word Liberty on the obverse side. Collectors immediately recognize these variations because they are visually distinctive and not common in circulation coins, and even subtle differences in the doubling can increase the coin's value dramatically. Off-center strikes are another key factor contributing to the coin's extraordinary worth. These occur when the metal planchet is not correctly centered under the die during the striking process, causing the image of Lincoln and the inscriptions to appear shifted from the center. In extreme cases, significant portions of the design may be missing, creating a visually striking and rare coin. The 1992 penny has been reported in some instances to show partial or severely off-center strikes, making each example uniquely different, and collectors are willing to pay exorbitant sums for these one-of-a-kind pieces. Planchet errors, including clipped planchets and wrong metal compositions, are also critical contributors to the coin's high value. A clipped planchet results when the blank metal disc is improperly cut, leaving a portion missing, which can occur due to a misfeed in the coining press. The 1992 penny has documented cases where such planchet errors are evident, and the combination of rarity and visual appeal elevates the coin's market demand. Additionally, some 1992 pennies were struck on defective or incorrect planchets, such as those with uneven thickness or impurities in the metal, resulting in coins with irregular weight, texture, or coloration. These anomalies, while technically mistakes, are precisely the traits that attract collectors seeking coins that deviate from standard minting specifications. Beyond these technical errors, the historical context of the 1992 penny enhances its significance. The early 1990s were a period when coin collectors were becoming increasingly attentive to error coins, and publications and numismatic guides began documenting the value of unusual strikes more rigorously. This attention elevated the profile of coins like the 1992 penny, which may have been casually overlooked in circulation at the time but gained recognition as a collectible with considerable investment potential. In some cases, well-preserved uncirculated 1992 pennies with documented errors have been submitted to professional grading services, where coins are evaluated for condition, strike quality, and error type, leading to high-grade coins receiving top-tier ratings and commanding millions in auctions or private sales. Grading is a crucial aspect because even among error coins, condition plays a pivotal role in determining market value, and the 1992 penny's potential $14 million valuation reflects the combination of rarity, error type, and exceptional preservation. The market for such coins is not limited to hobbyists. Investors recognize the 1992 penny as a tangible asset that can appreciate over time due to its scarcity, and the increasing interest in collectible coins as alternative investments. Auctions and private sales have demonstrated that coins with well-documented eras from this period can reach astronomical prices, fueled by competition among collectors and the coin's story of rarity and imperfection. Moreover, the 1992 penny exemplifies the fascinating intersection of chance and craftsmanship inherent in coin production, illustrating how minor deviations in the minting process can result in objects of immense value decades later. Each era coin has a narrative. The moment the planchet was misfed, the die slightly misaligned, or the press applied uneven pressure, these tiny mishaps create permanent records that collectors treasure, effectively transforming ordinary currency into prized artifacts. The allure is not only in the coin's rarity but also in the detective work that numismatists engage in, analyzing die markers, edge characteristics, and microscopic details to verify authenticity and assess the type of error present. The 1992 penny, with its combination of double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and metal anomalies, provides a rich field for such investigation, making each coin both a collectible and a subject of scholarly interest. Some of the most remarkable examples have been documented in specialized numismatic journals and online collector communities, where photographs and detailed descriptions allow enthusiasts to study the subtle distinctions between different strikes and planchet imperfections. These coins are often cross-referenced with mint records and production logs, further confirming their provenance and enhancing their value. Collectors also look for pedigree and historical context. A 1992 penny that was part of an early discovery of off-center strikes or double die errors may command significantly more than a similar coin without such a documented history. The rarity of high-grade examples is particularly acute because circulating pennies naturally accumulate wear, and coins that retain their mint luster and exhibit clear errors are exceedingly uncommon. The 1992 penny story is therefore not just about mistakes. It is about survival, preservation, and the serendipitous alignment of error and condition. Additionally, the 1992 penny has sparked interest because it represents a period of increasing technological scrutiny at the U.S. Mint, where quality control measures were improving but not yet foolproof, allowing for these extraordinary anomalies to escape into circulation. This makes each era coin a snapshot of the minting process of its era, providing collectors with both aesthetic pleasure and historical insight. Beyond the technical and historical factors, the 1992 penny also benefits from psychological and market dynamics. Coins with extreme rarity generate media attention, which in turn heightens collector awareness and drives demand, creating a feedback loop where the value continues to rise. Stories of coins selling for hundreds of thousands, or even millions, capture the imagination of both seasoned numismatists and casual enthusiasts, further cementing the coin's legendary status. In the case of the 1992 penny, the $14 million valuation is supported by documented sales of similarly rare pennies and the ongoing interest in era coins from the early 1990s, with auction houses, private dealers, and online marketplaces all contributing to the coin's visibility and perceived worth. Importantly, the market for such high-value coins is niche but highly competitive, where authentication, certification, and provenance are paramount, and the combination of rarity, condition, and era type determines whether a coin reaches its maximum potential valuation. To summarize, the 1992 1-cent coin's extraordinary value derives from a convergence of factors: misstrikes such as double dies and off-center strikes, planchet anomalies including clipped or defective planchets, pristine preservation, historical significance, and the growing collector demand for era coins in the late 20th century. Each coin embodies a unique moment of chance in the minting process, and its scarcity, coupled with visual distinctiveness, creates a compelling allure for collectors and investors alike. The $14 million figure reflects not only the physical rarity of these coins but also the cultural and economic dynamics of the numismatic community, where storytelling, condition, and documented provenance elevate an otherwise ordinary penny into a treasure of immense value. Whether studied under magnification for its die characteristics, showcased in auctions as a testament to minting anomalies, or preserved in private collections as an investment asset. The 1992 penny exemplifies the extraordinary potential hidden in everyday objects, reminding us that even the smallest and most familiar items can hold historical significance, artistic intrigue, and financial reward when the forces of error, rarity, and preservation align perfectly, capturing the imagination and admiration of collectors worldwide, making it a coin that not only fascinates but also commands the attention and respect of the entire numismatic community. And for those passionate about coins, the 1992 penny stands as an emblem of the unpredictable and captivating world of rare coin collecting, a world where meticulous observation, historical knowledge, and a bit of luck can transform a tiny piece of copper into a symbol of wealth, rarity, and enduring fascination, and that is why the 1992 1-cent coin. Next, 2001 cent. Today we dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, and more specifically, we are focusing on the extraordinary 2001 cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that has captured the attention of collectors and investors worldwide due to its incredible value of $1.88 million, a staggering amount for a coin that most of us handle daily without a second thought. And the story behind this coin is nothing short of remarkable, beginning with the introduction of the Denver Mint's 2000 production of pennies, which included both the standard Lincoln memorial design on the reverse and the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a coin that under normal circumstances would have been worth only a cent, but the 2000 penny became the center of the numismatic world because of a combination of errors, mistakes, and misstrikes that created a rarity few could have anticipated, and the history behind it involves careful scrutiny by collectors and experts who notice subtle but significant deviations in certain specimens, with one of the most prominent mistakes being the off-center strike, which occurs when the die does not align perfectly with the planchet, causing the coin to have a portion of the design missing or appearing shifted. And while off-center strikes happen in smaller quantities, the 2000 penny also exhibited a double die error on the obverse, where Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions, particularly the date and the word Liberty, appear to have been stamped twice slightly out of alignment, creating a ghost-like or shadow effect that is highly sought after by collectors because it is both visually striking and demonstrably rare, and the minting process itself, involving multiple stages of die preparation, blank planchet preparation, and striking, makes the occurrence of such errors extremely limited, thereby driving up their value exponentially. But that is just the beginning of why this penny is considered so valuable. Because beyond the off-center and double die errors, certain 2000 pennies were also found to have a rare lamination error, where the outer layers of the coin flake or peel due to impurities in the copper zinc alloy or inconsistencies in the rolling process. And such lamination errors not only make the coin unique but also increase its market demand among collectors looking for one-of-a-kind specimens. And there are even reports of some pennies having die cracks or die chips, small raised lines or bumps on the surface caused by a crack in the die, adding yet another layer of uniqueness to individual coins, and the combination of these errors means that a single coin could potentially exhibit multiple errors simultaneously, exponentially increasing its rarity and desirability, and in the collector market, rarity, demand, and the uniqueness of visual features are critical factors in establishing value, which is why even though the face value is only 1 cent, the 2000 penny can fetch over $1 million in auction settings, particularly when it has been professionally graded by organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, where coins are assigned grades based on their condition, from circulated to mint state, with mint state coins showing no wear and preserving the sharpness of the errors being the most valuable. And the grading process itself can elevate the value by providing assurance to buyers that the coin is genuine and accurately assessed, and this has led to competitive auctions where collectors bid astonishing amounts for the chance to own such a rare piece of numismatic history, often involving intense research into the coin's provenance, previous owners, and documented sightings of similar era coins. And the excitement is compounded by the fact that while the 2000 penny is not unique, the specific combination of errors and the preservation of the coin make individual specimens exceptionally rare, which is a driving factor behind its $1.88 million valuation. And another interesting aspect contributing to the coin's value is the context in which it was produced. The late 1990s and early 2000s were a period of high mint production, with billions of coins produced for circulation. But even in such high production years, the appearance of major errors is extremely uncommon because of the rigorous quality control measures at the U.S. Mint, including multiple inspections and adjustments to die and planchet alignment. Yet despite these controls, human error, mechanical wear, and unforeseen variations in metal composition allowed for these rare mistakes to slip through, making the coins that did escape production lines perfect specimens for collectors seeking anomalies. And it's important to note that the numismatic community places a premium on coins that have well-documented errors with historical significance, and the 2000 penny falls perfectly into this category because it represents not only a technical anomaly but also a fascinating story about production processes, human oversight, and the unpredictable nature of coin minting. And this story has been meticulously chronicled in numismatic publications, collector forums, and auction catalogs, adding a layer of narrative that enhances its appeal. Because collectors are often drawn to the tales behind the coin as much as the coin itself, and this particular penny's history includes reports of early sightings in circulation, collectors noticing oddities in pocket change, and careful examination under magnification revealing the double die or off-center characteristics, leading to authenticated specimens that are now in private collections or museums. And the psychology of collecting also plays a role in its high market value, as rare coins trigger competitive bidding, the desire for uniqueness, and the satisfaction of owning a piece of history, all of which fuel demand and inflate prices. Furthermore, the coin's value is sustained by limited availability. Unlike gold or silver bullion coins, error pennies like the 2000 cannot be replicated or manufactured for profit without legal consequences, ensuring that the supply remains permanently restricted, and scarcity combined with high demand naturally drives valuation to extraordinary levels. Which is why we see this coin reaching the impressive $1.88 million mark. And beyond the technical errors, enthusiasts also examine the coin's luster, strike quality, and any post-mint damage, because coins that maintain original mint luster, sharp strikes, and minimal contact marks are significantly more desirable, whereas coins showing heavy wear, cleaning marks, or corrosion are valued much lower. And this adds another layer of nuance to the collecting world, where subtle details can mean the difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the 2000 penny offers collectors the thrill of spotting these minute characteristics under magnification, learning about the minting process, and understanding the rarity factors that elevate a simple cent to a multimillion-dollar asset. And we cannot overlook the role of auction houses and coin dealers who verify, market, and authenticate these rare pennies, creating trust in high-value transactions and often generating significant media attention that further increases the coin's notoriety and perceived value. And this dynamic has created a cycle where awareness of the coin's rarity fuels demand, which fuels higher auction results, which in turn fuels more awareness, making the 2000 penny a true superstar in the numismatic community. And to put the rarity in perspective, consider that out of billions of pennies minted in 2000 at the Denver Mint, only a handful exhibit the combination of errors, misstrikes, and preservation that qualifies them for this elite status, which emphasizes just how special these coins are and why collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for them. And in addition to financial value, owning such a coin carries a prestige factor, as it signals to other collectors a deep knowledge of the field, patience in spotting rare finds, and an appreciation for the intricate details that make numismatics so captivating. And the excitement surrounding this penny also highlights a broader trend in coin collecting, where modern coins, once thought mundane, can achieve legendary status due to unexpected anomalies, encouraging collectors to inspect everyday change more carefully and to educate themselves on minting processes, error types, and grading standards. And the 2000 penny thus serves as both a historical artifact and an inspirational story about how minor mistakes can lead to extraordinary rewards, providing not only material gain but also an intellectual and aesthetic appreciation for the art and science of coin minting. And the enthusiasm for this coin has led to online communities YouTube channels, and collector groups dedicated to sharing information, trading insights, and discussing potential finds, further cementing its place as a symbol of the thrill of discovery in the world of numismatics. And as we explore the specific errors in detail, we find that the off-center strike can vary from slight misalignments to dramatic shifts where nearly half of the design is missing. And each degree of misalignment affects value differently, with coins that are dramatically off center being far more desirable, and the double die on the obverse can show subtle doubling or pronounced shadows depending on the coin. Next, 2011 Lincoln Penny. We are focusing on the remarkable 2011 1-cent coin from the United States, which has captivated collectors and numismatists around the world due to its astonishing value, currently estimated at $2.73 million, and the fascinating errors and mistakes that make it so uniquely sought after. The 2011 1-cent, often called the rare penny of the new decade, is not just a simple coin you might find in your pocket or at the bottom of a drawer, but represents a convergence of minting anomalies, striking errors, and production quirks that, together, transformed a 1-cent piece into a numismatic treasure of immense financial and historical significance. And understanding why this coin commands such a high price involves delving into the specifics of its production, the context of the U.S. Mint operations in 2011, and the rare deviations from standard minting protocols that occurred that year. For starters, the 2011 1-cent was produced at a time when the U.S. Mint was experiencing increased demand for pennies but also encountering pressure to maintain strict quality control, which paradoxically created opportunities for certain coins to escape into circulation with subtle yet highly impactful errors. Among the most notable of these is the double die obverse, where the front of the coin, featuring the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, exhibits a noticeable doubling effect in the inscriptions and even in the fine details of Lincoln's bust, a phenomenon caused by a misalignment in the die during the hubbing process. This doubling can range from slight ghosting to more pronounced shifts that are immediately noticeable to an experienced eye, making these coins extraordinarily valuable to collectors who specialize in error coins. Another major factor contributing to the 2011 1-cent's value is the presence of off-center strikes, which occur when the coin blank or planchet is not properly aligned within the coining press, resulting in a portion of the design being truncated and the coin appearing as if it was cut off. While minor off-center strikes can still be considered collectible, the extreme cases from 2011 are particularly prized, especially when the misalignment reveals unexpected aspects of the coin's inner structure or when a portion of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse remains visible despite a significant shift, adding an additional layer of rarity and aesthetic intrigue that drives demand among high-end collectors. In addition to doubling and off-center strikes, the 2011 1-cent is known for another striking error known as die cracks, which occur when the coin dies develop fissures due to repeated stress and pressure during minting, leaving raised lines on the coin's surface that are highly distinctive. Each die crack essentially makes the coin one of a kind. And collectors often seek out these variations not only for their rarity but for the story they tell about the minting process, the wear and tear on the tools, and the moments of imperfection captured in metal, all of which imbue the coin with a narrative that transcends its face value. Equally intriguing is the phenomenon of planchet flaws, which also appear in the 2011 1-cent series, including lamination errors where layers of the copper-plated zinc planchet peel away, creating irregular textures and exposed surfaces that further distinguish these coins from standard issues. And such flaws are not merely cosmetic but scientifically interesting, as they reveal the metallurgical properties and production tolerances of the coins. And when combined with other errors like doubling or off-center strikes, they can multiply the coin's value exponentially. The 2011 1-cent is further notable for its limited known population of high-grade examples that exhibit these combined errors in pristine condition. A factor that is absolutely crucial when considering the market value, as coin collectors are extremely discerning, and even minor imperfections in a coin otherwise considered rare can significantly affect its desirability and sale price, which is why the $2.73 million estimate reflects not just the errors themselves but also the condition, provenance, and the documented history of each specimen. with some coins having been carefully tracked through collections, auctions, and grading services that certified the authenticity and quality of the error. The story of how these coins were discovered is equally compelling. As many of the most valuable 2011 1-cent coins were initially found in circulation by everyday individuals, sometimes inside change from a retail transaction or tucked away in coin rolls purchased from banks, which underscores the excitement and unpredictability of coin collecting, and why even casual collectors often inspect each penny with great care. Aware that one coin could hold immense hidden value due to subtle misalignments or anomalies that escape the mint's rigorous quality controls. Beyond the physical errors, the 2011 1-cent's value is also enhanced by the historical context of the year itself, as 2011 marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, giving additional thematic significance to coins featuring his image, and collectors often prize coins that coincide with anniversaries, as these pieces carry a dual legacy of numismatic rarity and historical commemoration, making them particularly appealing to museums, private collectors, and investors, who recognize that their worth may appreciate over time not just as a collectible but as a piece of history. The allure of the 2011 1-cent is further fueled by documented cases where these coins have changed hands for extraordinary sums at auction, with collectors bidding aggressively to secure coins that exhibit the most striking errors. And the publicity surrounding these sales only serves to heighten interest in the entire series, creating a feedback loop where awareness of potential rarity drives demand, which in turn drives up prices and encourages deeper exploration of other minting anomalies from the same year, including lesser-known variations that might not yet have surfaced in major auctions but are believed to exist in private collections, bank rolls, or even forgotten coin jars across the country. Moreover, the 2011 1-cent demonstrates the complex interplay of rarity, demand, and human fascination with imperfection, as coins that would otherwise be considered worthless pennies suddenly acquire immense value simply because they deviate from perfection in ways that are measurable, collectible, and historically significant, highlighting the psychological and economic factors that drive the coin collecting market and illustrating why a single cent, produced in the millions, can command a price in the millions of dollars under the right circumstances. It is also worth noting that the grading of these coins by professional services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) adds a layer of credibility and market assurance, as each coin is meticulously examined for authenticity, error type, condition, and overall appeal, and a certified coin with verified doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet flaws is instantly more marketable and often significantly more valuable than one without certification, reinforcing the importance of provenance and professional assessment. In determining a coin's ultimate worth, in discussing the value of the 2011 1-cent, one must also consider the rarity of combinations of errors, as coins exhibiting multiple anomalies simultaneously, such as a doubled die obverse paired with a significant off-center strike and notable die cracks, are extraordinarily scarce and can command prices that far exceed those of coins with only a single error, making these triple error coins the holy grail of modern cent collecting, highly coveted by enthusiasts who understand the intricacies of minting processes and who appreciate the story each coin tells about the production environment, quality control, and sheer chance that led to its creation. Furthermore, the 2011 1-cent provides a fascinating case study in numismatic economics, as it demonstrates how perception of rarity and desirability can transform an everyday object into a multi-million-dollar collectible, with investors and collectors alike recognizing that certain era coins hold not only intrinsic artistic and historical value but also an investment potential that rivals more traditional assets, particularly when they are preserved in excellent condition and backed by a verified provenance, a factor that has contributed to the ongoing surge of interest in rare pennies, including those from 2011, and has cemented this coin's place in the annals of modern numismatic history. It is equally compelling to explore the technological aspects that contributed to these errors, including the hubbing techniques, die preparation processes, and quality control measures of the U.S. Mint at the time, which, while highly advanced, were still susceptible to human oversight, mechanical deviation, and material imperfections, all of which converged to create coins like the 2011 1 cent that are simultaneously mundane in function yet extraordinary in collectible significance. Another dimension of interest is the community and culture surrounding era coin collecting, where forums, social media groups, and collector clubs share discoveries. Last, today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and lucrative pieces of American numismatic history, the 1993 D1 cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike, and one that can command a staggering value of $11 million due to its rare errors and unique characteristics that make it stand out in the vast sea of everyday coins. Now, you might be wondering why a coin worth just 1 cent in circulation could possibly reach such astronomical figures, and the answer lies in the fascinating world of minting errors, the intricate processes of coin production, and the specific circumstances surrounding the 1993 D1 cent that make it one of the most sought-after coins in modern American numismatics. To fully appreciate its value, we must first understand the production process at the Denver Mint, where this coin originated, and how even the smallest mistakes during striking can create variations that are incredibly rare, and therefore extremely valuable. In 1993, the United States Mint was producing billions of 1 cent coins, but among these ordinary coins were a few that suffered from misalignment errors, doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, and other anomalies, each of which can significantly increase a coin's rarity and appeal. One of the most notable errors that can be found on the 1993 D1 cent is the doubled die averse, a phenomenon where the design elements on the coin, such as Lincoln's profile or the inscriptions, appear to have been stamped twice, slightly offset from each other, creating a visual duplication that is immediately noticeable to trained collectors and can drastically increase the coin's value. In addition to doubled dies, some 1993 D pennies exhibit striking anomalies caused by die deterioration or improper pressure during the minting process, leading to weak or missing details on Lincoln's face or the lettering, which in the world of numismatics is highly prized due to the coin's departure from the standard minting quality. There are also known instances of planchet errors where the metal blank itself was flawed, including laminations, improper alloy mixtures, or cracks, which make each affected coin unique and often highly collectible. The 1993 D1 cent also holds intrigue because of the combination of errors that can appear simultaneously, such as a double die with a small die crack or off-center strike, exponentially increasing its rarity, and therefore its market value. The significance of these errors is not merely aesthetic. They tell a story about the minting process, the technological limitations of the era, and the human oversight that allowed these anomalies to occur, offering collectors a tangible connection to history. Furthermore, the scarcity of these coins in top grades, especially those that have been professionally certified and graded by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, further elevates the value of the 1993 D penny. Coins with high grades such as MS65 or above, showing minimal wear and clear error characteristics, are extremely rare and can command prices in the millions because collectors are not only buying the coin itself but also the assurance of authenticity and condition. Market dynamics also play a crucial role. Over the past decades, interest in era coins has skyrocketed, fueled by numismatic research, online auctions, and global collector communities who recognize the rarity and potential return on investment of coins like the 1993 D1 cent stories of individual coins selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and even reaching figures close to $11 million when combining multiple era features and top grading, have made this coin legendary in the collector world. The coin's desirability is compounded by its visual appeal and the fact that it represents a modern era penny, allowing collectors to own a piece of American history without venturing into centuries-old currency, while still enjoying the thrill of extreme rarity and value. Moreover, some 1993 D1 cents were accidentally struck on foreign planchets or off-metal blanks, creating extraordinary anomalies that are one-of-a-kind and elevate the coin to a level of interest similar to historic rarities like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent. Collectors also pay attention to provenance, meaning the known history of a coin, including whether it was part of a notable collection, discovered in a unique circumstance, or certified in a limited population, which adds an extra layer of prestige and value. The combination of production errors, limited availability, top-tier grading, and historical context all converge to make the 1993 D1 cent a prime candidate for commanding prices in the millions, with some extraordinary examples reaching the $11 million mark due to their exceptional rarity and condition. Beyond just its monetary value, the 1993 D1 cent has become a symbol of the thrill and challenge of coin collecting, showing that even a simple penny can hold incredible secrets, reward patient research, and inspire awe among collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts. The fascination with such coins also underscores the importance of paying attention to small details, as minute variations can make a profound difference in value, reminding collectors that the world of numismatics is full of surprises, and that vigilance, knowledge, and a keen eye for error coins can turn a mundane coin into a historic treasure. In conclusion, the 1993 D1 cent is more than just a coin. It is a window into the meticulous world of minting, the quirks and imperfections that escape mass production, and the dedication of collectors who recognize the immense value hidden in these anomalies. Its errors, ranging from doubled dies and die cracks to off-center strikes and flawed planchets, all contribute to its rarity and appeal, while the combination of high-grade certification and limited population ensures that its value remains exceptionally high. The stories of coins fetching millions of dollars capture the imagination and remind us that even the smallest objects can have extraordinary worth when history, craftsmanship, and chance converge. For those who seek to understand, collect, or invest in numismatics, the 1993 D1 cent serves as a prime example of why attention to detail, knowledge of minting processes, and awareness of errors can transform a simple penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure, and it continues to inspire collectors around the world to explore, research, and celebrate the fascinating world of coin collecting. If you are intrigued by the 1993 D1 cent and the incredible potential it holds, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more amazing stories of coins that defy their face value and captivate collectors everywhere.